Let's dance.
حبيبي ولا على باله شو يزيد.
ولا
Is that something you do in every
every
episode?
single time.
Every episode. But we never took the chance to actually learn the song.
مستحيل.
The actual lyrics of the songs. Nice.
Hello everyone and welcome to Life After with Dana and Amal,
We're gonna discuss everything and anything.
where people feel comfortable to listen to people with
Similar situations or views.
a safe word. Life After with Dana and Amal. Bitter conversations with a sweet ending, just like a pineapple. Actually, we googled it. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Life After with Dana and Amal.
What's up?
Guys, we are here, we are back. Today's episode, we are talking about something that all Dubai kids relate to.
Not only Dubai kids, but GCC kids, I would say.
100%.
So, yeah, 100%, guys.
I guess in any city where there's it's a
True.
melting pot of different cultures.
True. So, let's tell the audience and, of course, the guest what the topic is about. It's about third culture kids.
Woohoo!
Woo, third world culture kids.
Really?
Sorry.
Third world culture kids?
No, I
Wait,
think
no, it's not third world.
culture kids.
Yeah, it's third.
Yeah, third world is.
حربي. Third world. Calm down, girl. Calm down, Russia.
Sorry.
There's actually a shortness to it. TCK, I believe. it is.
CT.
TCK.
TCK.
Third culture kid. TCK.
You're
صح.
such a TCK.
Yeah, I
I
know.
mean, only
my
Osama
God.
would know something.
Yeah, such a TCK, like
Yeah, I know,
legit.
what a TCK moment.
All right, so today we have a very special guest.
Of course.
Yes.
Hey.
We have Osama with us today. He's gonna join us in this discussion. Osama, please do introduce yourself.
All right, I'm Osama Itani. I was born in this country in 1989. I forgot my year.
Wow.
Um,
So we might
yeah.
forget
So-
myself.
21.
So yeah, I've been in this country for about 33 years. I'm Lebanese by passport, but born in Dubai. Lived
Dubai
all my
kids.
life there. Was raised here, learned here, went to school, went to university, met my wife here.
Oh.
Hi, best friend.
Yeah.
So, Osama, guidelines in our podcast.
Yes,
All right.
these
I
are
know-
very important.
Ah.
guidelines,
I know,
yeah.
Osama, you've watched a couple of episodes, so you know
Yeah.
the guidelines. But as always, we
Haven't memorized them though.
Mm.
but it's one guideline that's very,
That's why
very
we're
important.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. So this guideline is كالآتي. We want to create a safe space for you to feel comfortable. And if you want to use a curse word, whatever, you use one word. Pineapple.
I almost forgot it.
Yeah.
Just like, wait, what?
Also, before we start, audience, please, everyone, huge shout out to Osama because everything you see, colors, logo, is done by him.
Really?
What a guy. So
Yeah,
yeah,
my point was
huge
not-
shout out to Osama. We
Yeah.
appreciate you. You've been
Thank
part
you,
of
thank
Life After for so long.
For-
and now
yeah.
you're officially like command
Now I'm
بزيادة.
like part of it,
Mm.
like,
100%.
deep in.
Deep
Wallah.
end. خلاص, there's no turning back whatsoever.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start.
Let's just give a brief explanation
Yeah.
to
Okay.
add to what you said earlier. And what is a third culture kid,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Do you want to go?
So
or?
Yeah, from what I know about third culture kids are basically kids who were born or raised outside of their country. So they moved out because their parents wanted to go work somewhere, or they had to, they're refuging from their country because it's going through war or any diplomatic situation.
Yeah.
And you grow in a country where it's not really your culture. It's a different culture or a city that has a mix of different cultures altogether. That's what
And I
understand.
think Dubai, UAE in general is
Yeah.
a perfect example of that صراحة.
Yeah, it's the house of a
Yeah.
lot of kids.
Yeah.
Third culture.
Sometimes I think they also kind of connected with, it's your parents' culture, it's the city's culture, and it's also
Your own.
what you create
Yeah.
from it. So I think that's where the third comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Okay.
Okay, so now let's get to tell
Your-
us about your experience. Yeah.
But let's focus on
Childhood.
the childhood and then we move on.
We'll move on. Yeah.
All right. So in what way do you want to know?
Yani, for example, sorry, in my case, okay, because like we've gone to the same school and all
Yeah.
of that. خلص automatically لما أحكي مع حدا عربي they go like, so are you Lebanese? I'm like, no, but I have a lot of Lebanese friends, but I'm not Lebanese. My accent شوي بتكسر على اللبنانية. So if I go back to Jordan, I'm definitely مش أردنية.
Funny enough, I was labeled a fake Lebanese before.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So I'm Lebanese in origin, but because I was raised here and most of my friends from school were mostly Palestinians, Jordanian, have a few who are Russian, a few who are American. You kind of, get a mix of different cultures, you learn different traditions, you learn different accents as well.
Oh.
And when I started working, you start to meet different people, and especially people who come from Lebanon at a later stage for work. And you talk to them, they go like, oh, where are you from? I told them, I'm Lebanese. They were like,
Yeah.
but your accent is not Lebanese. And they go like, yeah, well, I was born and raised here, and I have to go through the whole explanation of, how my accent.
It's so but time consuming by the way. يعني أنا مثلا I'm originally Palestinian بس I have the Jordanian passport بس عشت انولدت بالسعودية بس طول حياتي عايشة بدبي.
مثلا.
وهاتي يفهم اللي يفهم يعني إنه it's so hard.
Yeah.
And I think مثلا أنا for me growing up in school all my friends were Lebanese. لهلا majority of my friends are Lebanese.
Yeah.
وخلاص I grabbed on the accent. والمشكلة بس أنزل على عمان إنه أنا كتير مقتنعة إنه أنا بحكي عربي كتير منيح. والله I genuinely believe this إنه أنا بحكي عربي كتير منيح.
Yeah.
نزلت على عمان. Last year I was like something for work. I was supposed to interview people بالشارع.
Do you have videos?
Great.
لا it was so embarrassing. فإنه I would go like hi مرحبا كيفكم شو أخباركم please بس أسألكم شغلة. بعدين automatically I would switch to English right because نحن هون يعني احنا بنحكي مع بعض كتير بالانجليزي when I go there فهم واحد تحكي لي لا ومش عارفه شو and they got so offended انه انت ليش عم تحكي انجليزي I'm like بس انت
مين مفكرة حالك
انت شايفه حالك انت شايفه حالك
زي من بلاد الخليج
فلوس والله اللي بدري واللي ما بدري تشوف عدس.
أنا I think بتنتبه على the fact you're a third culture kid. Thanks by the way. When you actually go back to your country.
Yeah.
And
strongly.
Yeah, strongly. And I remember this once. I took a cab in Lebanon. You go from one destination to another, and I try to stay quiet because I don't want to reveal that don't live here.
I'm fake Lebanese.
Yeah, otherwise, they'll charge you more.
Yeah.
And
that sucks. It's the worst thing.
And it was great. And it was great until I reached my destination. And instead of asking him a day, I asked him come. And that was the trigger. And you're not born here? Like,
sorry, bro.
You're not Lebanese? I'm like, yeah, I'm shy Sean. I'm like, yeah.
But I know. I think you have a very strong Lebanese accent. To me.
Yeah.
I think to the people who are here, all the accents we hear are strong.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the moment you go back home, it's like. Right.
Do you feel like when situations like this happen and then come on we all contribute to this question you lost your identity somehow?
In a way, yes. Well, thing is but at the end of the day you do create your own identity and but you have your country's or cultural identity which is something you associate with. But the thing is being raised here, I haven't been to Lebanon in like 7 years.
Okay.
Right. Partly because, I like to travel the world more, and there's not really. I don't feel like I have that connection to it as much. Like I used to go see my cousins all the time, but ever since they got married, and they have their own kids, and excuse me. It became hard. It became hard to see them because they have their responsibilities. They have commitments and all that. Yeah, busy with work and life in general. So I decided, what, I want to travel and I want to see the world. And what's interesting about traveling and seeing the world is that you actually get to know different traditions and different cultures, and you learn a lot from it. You come back here and you start to realize, I feel like you become more open to different cultures as well. So you make friends from different nationalities.
مش شيء غريب يعني.
And it becomes easy for you to talk to anybody. Your parents, on the other hand, they find it a bit weird, like if I'm talking.
بدك تنزل.
Yeah, مثلا, why don't you want to go back to Lebanon? I'm like, there's the world to discover, like, and And for example, like one of those interesting moments I found is so my parents always had like Arab friends, Lebanese, Palestinians, Syrians, Jordanians, all of that, but they never had friends from different nationalities, like European, American, and all that. One day, when I used to live in Audmetha, we had an Italian neighbor, and she got along with my mom surprisingly.
Nice.
Although there's like that major language barrier. But they became the best of friends. And I was very happy to see that because, you know, in my eyes, my parents are kind of, you know, conservative in that situation, you know, like they like to keep close to the familiar and not the unfamiliar. So I feel like them living outside of Lebanon also affected them in a certain way. Where they made them a bit more
حتى the way they think يعني حتى their
100%.
إنه the way they استنى اجمع الكلمة عشان انت حكيت 100% وهي every time I say 100% she's like 100%. It opened their mind. It opened the way they think, and I don't think نحنا بنفكر زي اللي عايشين ببلادنا at all. And I think we have a different perspective. I think because you have different cultures and you live around different cultures. يعني أنا مرة we had this argument with one of my parents, and we were saying إنه my sister she's like okay بابا أنت عشت طول حياتك بالأردن. صفصف عاشت طول حياتها بالقدس. انتوا جايين we're living in Dubai. You can't انت اصلا من world وهي from a world. You can't force your world on ours because نحنا we live in a different environment completely different. في لبناني وفي السوري وفي الأردني وفي الفلسطيني وفي you have Pakistani friends, you have Indian friends. When I went to Prague it was يعني very interesting إنه you're friends with the person from Italy وكذا وكذا وكذا. حتى هون خلاص it's so natural to us. It's so normal. It's so إنه okay عادي. حتى بس لما ننزل على عمان أو مثلا تحكي I have this Italian friend.
Yeah.
Italy?
No. What is this weird creature?
It's so weird.
How does it look like?
Do
you have a photo? Do you have proof?
No, it's so weird. Why are you acting this way? I think it's a blessing for us to be exposed to something like this in the first place.
100%. And so I keep saying 100%.
Please do. It's okay. We're definitely having a count in this episode.
Also
100%. So
one of the things that I remember now is growing up. So after graduating and getting your own job and building yourself up, your parents start to talk to you about marriage. And coming from that culture, you need to be ready at a certain age. From where I come from, to be married, you need to have a house. You need to have a stable income. You need to have a car and save up. You can't just get married. So one of I don't want to call them rules, but kind of like guidelines.
They have to be Lebanese.
They have to be Lebanese.
هي صفصف عالراحة حياكي الله فلسطيني قلتي مسلم.
And I was very rebellious to that idea.
As you should يعني.
One is
but his wife is
I don't have we'll get back to that. One is that like marrying somebody from Lebanon
was not an idea.
Was not an idea of was not in my head at all because being born in Lebanon and being raised in Lebanon
your mindset is different.
Is completely different. And I don't think I would have gotten along with her because I feel like I have a lot of pop culture references that she wouldn't understand. I have a lot of sense of humor or just overall growing in that same environment, knowing things that she doesn't know and she doesn't know anything I know. So I felt like that would have been difficult for us to build a relationship from there. And I'm not talking about anybody specific, just like the overall thought of it. I did meet a lot of people throughout. I've dated a few who are from different nationalities.
Which one was the best one though? أنو كانت أحلى nationality you date?
My wife.
هلا يعني
put her right there.
أحلى nationality you just gave me the right answer.
لا ما حكيت أحلى بنت.
حكيتي أحلى nationality.
حكيت
هو
nationality.
عطاكي like the right answer. He's like
listen. There's no hey.
فرح this is off record.
So yeah, funny enough is that I ended up marrying a Lebanese girl, but that Lebanese girl is also born and raised in Dubai. So she has the same she's born in the same environment as I am and has the same mentality, similar interests,
which plays a huge
difference.
It makes a big difference because in Talma we're talking about this subject there is this expectation where the parents want you to get married to someone who's Palestinian or Jordanian, but it's just like we live in a multinational, multicultural country. Like, and to me, Dubai or the UAE is the most diverse, and you expect me to find that Palestinian and Jordanian mix. It doesn't it just doesn't make sense.
اصلا هم يعني خلق البرسنتج عم بقل. يعني البرسنتج كل ما له عم بقل. فما I agree and I think look أنا my mom عن جد والله she gave up at this point. She's like whatever.
She's like I'm gonna keep trying.
أصلا بس فلسطيني. هلا she narrowed it down to Palestinian يعني بس again.
She's like شو ما يكون بس المهم.
See with age you feel like the checklist keeps dropping.
This is the topic that gets mentioned. This gets mentioned a lot. طيب being third culture kid. إيش في أشياء بيور accent حسيت تغيرت كتير؟ يعني أنت you mentioned the chem story, right?
Yeah.
What are other like accents or things that you say حسيت إنه كتير مأثرة عليك؟
But there's a phrase that I keep saying that is very I think Palestinian or Jordanian, which is إيش في.
إيش في.
Instead of saying إنه شو في إيش في, you know what's going on, you know. Yeah, it's very prominent عندي. Yeah. What else? There's I don't know, it'll come up.
أنا for me
شو إيش بيك؟
إيش بك؟ لولو. I say لولو a lot. I have
But I think that's what's great about it.
I love it.
That we're all like kind of blending in
today
together.
I said E بدل A. E is pure
Iraqi, no?
Iraqi, yeah. So I was like E, and then my friend was like, "What the hell are you saying?" Like, it's Iraqi. Just move on. Let's just go past this. and I think it's so interesting how you move from one dialect to another.
Quick.
Yeah.
And like, شو عم تحكي? I'm like, ما بقول شيء. ما بعرف. It's just the flow of it. It's just so fun and adds up to your character. إنه فجأة بتلاقيني بحكي. ما بعرف هديك المرة كنت بحكي لماما شغلة and I go like إنه I don't know, it was something so Lebanese of me. إنه ما في شيء. And she's like, ما في إشي.
It's funny because one of my colleagues at work, she's Egyptian, and
an Egyptian.
Yeah, and one day she was leaving work. I'm like, listen, I'm heading to that area. Like, do you want me to drop you? She goes like, no, it's okay. Beye is coming here to pick me up. I'm like, Beye? What's going on?
Literally إيه
نحن بنحكي دي حقيقة كتير. دي حقيقة. We always say this.
Yeah.
I want to say a story كمان with the cab driver. So once I was in Jordan, okay, and I'm like, Amal, try your best, okay, like thicken your accent, or you need to like speak as a Jordanian, Palestinian Jordanian, you know, like أنا هلا طالعة من الغابة تبعت الأردن, you know, like من قاع الأردن. فتاكسي بيحكي لي وين, فبحكي له سيدا.
أيوة.
هيك لف طلع عليه زي
ضرب يا أخي ضرب لا. This is something I say. قال ضرب يا أخي. What the hell? من دون دواوين calm down. I swear.
طلع عليه زي شو هاي سيدة أنت بتحكي لي أنا سيدة اسمها دغري. I'm like دغري طيب.
أو فاهم.
He got offended.
Yeah.
هاي زي هاي بالخليج بتحكيها مش هون. I'm like
and they have an idea of how we live. They have this assumption إنه انتو عشان انتو بنات برا او عايشين برا or they sound like
they find us flaky somehow.
Yeah.
By the way, like, I realized something in Lebanon. Whenever I go there, they find me to be a bit stupid for following the rules.
Oh my god, that's so funny,
you know
and
what I mean?
true.
Like, we're so used of being, you know, law-abiding citizens.
صح.
You know, like
نستغرب.
you stand in a queue, you stop at the traffic light, you know, you follow the rules. That does not apply in Lebanon.
I think حتى عنا ما إنه قليل ما تلاقي حدا. لا ما خلص والله.
You stop at a traffic light.
ما حمرقك.
What the pineapple are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, funny thing. Mara, I met my friend's wife. Apparently, she does. Can't remember what her job is, but she does people profiling.
Okay.
So she meets, like, basically she stands at a certain clubs or certain buildings where she talks to somebody and she can profile him to know who he is.
That's so cool.
Which is a pretty cool job.
Yeah. Like she gets paid to do it.
Yeah.
Wow. Who did
I'm
she
gonna
work
look
for?
into it.
Government?
That was a long time
Dana's
ago.
like, do
you
they have
know?
any openings?
Yeah.
Do I have to talk?
So in a 5-minute interaction with her, she told me, you were born here, you studied here, and you probably went to either DIS or Muakib. I'm like, what?
What the hell?
How?
Was she also home?
She I think she's been living here for about 10 plus years. So
Oh,
she kind of
okay.
knows. But apparently from my accent she was able to detect where I studied.
By the way, schools عشان حتى each school has a different third culture vibe.
True.
Yeah. So apparently هلا whenever I meet my مثلا I have cousins who live in London and when they see me they go like, oh, you have an American accent. I don't think I have an American accent. I think I have a Dubaian accent. And that's what she actually labeled my accent as. Your accent is Dubaian. You know, it's mix of English, American, and you know other accents all come together. Melting pot.
I don't know. By the way, they.
Discard him.
I think the idea of culture kids ببلادنا أو بلاد غيرنا كتير بتحس judgment إنه they judge you.
Yeah.
You know
It's
بحس
like you lost that sense of culture.
أنا مرات كتير I have this argument with my cousins إن أنتي عشو أنتي مش فلسطينية.
Yeah.
And I go like, but I am. Like we don't come and tell me I'm not Palestinian because
Excuse me.
I think I'm Palestinian enough. يعني كتير مرات إنه خلاص في أشياء معينة I'm 100% sure بس بعدين بحكي أوكي طيب أنا يعني بنزل ما بحس حالي فلسطينية
No.
whether على فلسطين أو لعمان بحكي طب أنتي بنت دبي طب أوكي أنا بنت دبي بس أنا من هون
Yeah, like
يعني وين شو بدي أشرح لكم
أصلا أنت the moment تيجي تحكي إنه أنا من دبي ولا whatever they go like بعتي أصلك ما بتحكي عن
Oh my god
حالك.
مرة نزلت فيديو on TikTok guys this is so interesting so I uploaded this video on TikTok I was saying about a story in Prague I went there for a month والأستاذ بيسألنا إنه أنتوا جايين من وين هلا أنا حفوت بدلما بالستاين جوردن مش حيعرفون فبحكي لهم من دبي
دبي.
خلاص it's the closest thing that you will find out I was saying a story إنه هو كان بيحكي أنتوا من دبي يعني أنتوا بتفوتوا بالفراري دغري على العمارة وبتغسلوا إيديكم بشامبين
Yeah.
هيك
Champagne.
and someone commented is like why are you saying you're from Dubai when you're not from Dubai and I'm like بلاك يا أخي like
Yeah.
what's your issue I don't it bothered me because طب أنا عن جد والله I'm so grateful to be a Dubai kid because
Yeah.
I think I was exposed to so many cultures and things and I learned so much and I learned to deal with so many different people and cultures and got introduced to different foods and cuisines ما تيجي تحكي لي أنت ما
مش
تحكي
من
أنت مش
دبي.
من دبي طب إنه it's easier for me to identify إن أنا من دبي
But here's a story for you. Something that happened to me actually, and I think I was flying to Amsterdam, or from Amsterdam. I don't remember. Anyways, we had to stop in Zurich, and at the passport control, I gave him my passport, and he looks at it and he goes like, where were you born? So ask you random questions to make sure you know.
you know
The
your identity
Yeah. Told him I was born in Dubai. Okay, he goes like, where's your Emirati passport?
unlucky
It's
bro
not that simple.
Here's a funny story for you. Yeah. I'm like, they don't just give it out. He goes like, what do you mean?
sorry
You
bro
know, just because you're born there doesn't mean you're
Yeah.
entitled for a passport.
Yeah.
You know, that's how it works here. And he goes like, but if you come to Zurich, we'll give it to you in 7 years. You know, like, yeah, I mean,
doesn't work that way
thanks for rubbing it in, but sorry.
Thank you but no thank you.
yeah it's so hard especially
Yeah.
إنه أنت مولودة بمحل وأنت
You
من
actually
محل.
belong to a different
عن جد
country.
it's easier to identify إن أنا بن دبي I love it I don't
Yeah.
hate it but I just
No.
hate when someone comes and tells me لا أنت مش من هون you don't get to tell me إذا أنا فلسطينية ولا لا or بس because I
I'm not physically there.
مش بس موضوع I'm
أنا
not physically
طلعت.
there انسي هلا قصة الفلسطينية إشي تاني بس I'm saying in general in general ما تيجي تحكوا لي مثلا إنه أنا ما بعرف إشي أو أنتي مش من هون طب أوكي أنا مش من هون بس بعرف أشياء هون I know
I'm up
roads
to date,
وطوارئ
yeah.
يعني مرة I was in بأوبر بعمان actually فرح and Angie were with me and my فرح asked me something إنه عن طريق إنه Dana yesterday we didn't come from the store I'm like we came from شارع الأردن and he's like والله كنت تعرفي بالطرق
إيش في
bro pineapple like I do know the way it bothered me so much مش معنى إنه أنا مش عايشة هناك إنه أنا ما بفهم إشي هناك This culture identity crisis that I think most of us have, it's annoying.
Yeah.
Where are you originally from? مخصك.
But you have to admit, like, our culture or belongingness back home is completely different than the people who actually belong there.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree.
عيدي استني عشان.
Like, okay, so
The way I belong here is different than how they
but
belong
you're
there.
you're a
Like-
stranger.
there.
Which is annoying to a certain extent, no? Do I not think
Yeah,
so?
Yeah, but
it is.
yeah, it is
But-
definitely.
You accept
You didn't
it?
live there. Yeah,
Yeah.
because didn't live there, you know.
Like
It's sad because, you know, yes, I'm Lebanese. Yes, I hold a passport. I haven't, you know, if I want to calculate the number of days I spent in Lebanon, I don't think it'll come up to a year.
Oof.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is really sad.
Mm.
And then how do I identify as Lebanese if it's only written on my passport? I'm proud of being Lebanese. Not very proud of what's happening now with our
As
politicians.
all of us
All of us,
actually.
Yeah. But, you know, I love the country. I love visiting it. But a lot of times it just doesn't make sense for me to go. It's just, you know, it feels like a lot of trouble and hassle.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
No.
think a lot of our friends who يعني we have friends who lived in Lebanon and then moved here to work وهيك. We were having this conversation actually مرة قدامهم and they're like, and we don't relate to what you're saying. No.
Yeah.
حتى مرة when we were asking one of our friends, he's like, of course I'd move back and live in Lebanon and I would want to raise
In
my
a
kids in Lebanon.
heartbeat, yeah.
I'm like really?
Yeah.
I would never want to raise my kids in عمان مثلا, you know. Some people go like, no, I have a colleague بالمكتب تحكي إنه I love عمان. هي تربت بعمان. She's like, and I want to move back to عمان.
Exactly. بحس the fact that we weren't there,
yeah.
we don't
Made us
have
miss
that.
out.
Yeah, لأنه عن جد. So I know a couple of Lebanese, those who were born and raised there, they work outside. They're like, yeah, no, they're
Can't wait to go
every
back.
weekend they're in
Yeah.
Lebanon. They literally, whenever they get the chance, they're in Lebanon.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like, بس أنا, for example, whenever I get the chance, no, I wouldn't be in Jordan. I travel somewhere else. You know, I just stay here. So بحس there is that missing factor in the third
Yeah.
culture kids.
Do you feel like
Guess.
you miss out?
Definitely في كتير أشياء I would have learned
Yeah.
back home rather than here.
You know, I feel like part of me wished I at least, you know,
Lived.
did my university in Lebanon.
That would
know.
have played the.
You know, like I wanted to feel a bit more more connected to my country, you know. But at this point,
You can always go for a master's.
At the
I
moment.
ain't spending that much
AOB.
money.
At the moment.
Yeah.
See, one thing about what I feel like I missed out, هلا I have family members here, بس لما يروح علي الأعراس أو المناسبات
different.
عجقة العيد أنا كتير بحب
Oh my
عجقة
God.
العيد. Worst
هناك-
thing about it إنهم بصحوك الصبح 8 we're here. Okay, calm down. Like I'm not used to this. إنه
Yeah.
خلاص إحنا we're coming to visit you ماشي. هناك it's like
We're here.
wake up we're here. This is something I feel like I miss out on.
Yeah.
هلا أنا بحكي إذا العيد مش بالصيف مثل هلا
Yeah.
يعني. بس in general this is something I feel like I missed out on. بس I appreciate living here at the same time.
Oh, yes.
And I love the fact it's a love-hate relation with my way and with my family.
It's like you want both, but you can't get both.
And the good thing about it actually, and I don't know if you guys will agree, I think this is something our family would never understand.
Yeah.
إنه عن جد أصحابنا بيصيروا عيلتنا because we see them every day because خلاص بتصير bond خرافي.
It's a different bond.
It's a different bond بس تحسي إنه عن جد أنتوا you don't understand إنه they are my family.
Yeah.
يعني I think this is something that's between us and the older generation they will never understand.
Like I think culturally in general, Arabs, we're very family oriented.
صح.
And you know, no matter where you go and to any country, you feel like you're always bonded back to your family. And that is something I appreciate from our culture. You know, we appreciate our family, we appreciate our elderly, take care of them, blah, blah, blah. You know, I don't see myself to grow. Like you see these in movies where, you know, a person reached a certain age and then his son puts him in a home, you know. You don't hear a lot of that in this region.
No.
Actually you do, it's not very
Common.
Not a lot of it. There's
مش as much
Not
as
majority.
مش as much as برا يعني
Yeah.
بس
Yeah.
إنه there
Like it's not the first option.
yeah.
it's not a first option.
No.
No.
It's usually a desperate moment or, you know, different situations.
time
permits.
Yeah. But so you know, yes, I'm thankful to a lot of cultural aspects that we have and a lot of things that we learn from our culture. At the same time, there are certain nuances that don't make sense. I don't have a great example, but for example, once I had to travel to Lebanon for 3 days for work. All right. And, I'm very busy with work. I have no time. So I told my parents, listen, I'm going to go there, but don't tell anybody I'm going.
Oh, I've been through
You
this.
know, like-
it was hard. How was the reaction?
Keith, how are you supposed to, you have to tell them. And then my mom, when I get to Lebanon, my mom calls me, go see your aunt. ما بيصير تزعل هلا. Go see فلان, go see.
بس أنت رايح for work. It's not
أنا
like
رايح
you're
for work. I'm
for
not going to.
vacation.
Yeah, I know. But خلاص, you're there. You have to go see them.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
the pressure.
That's the pressure that you don't need. And like have responsibility of work. And my colleagues and my managers expect a certain quality of work. So I need to dedicate my time to work. But they don't
But
get that.
it's not something to understand.
For them,
No.
it's not a priority.
To them, it's like you're disrespecting me. And I'm like, it's not about respect or
Yeah.
disrespect. This is about, I think we learned how to put boundaries here. هناك بحس ما في boundaries.
It's hard to
know?
set it. Yeah.
نحن for us, it's like, okay. مثلا أنا when my friends come over مثلا من برا. خلص في اللي هو إنه listen, I will be able مثلا to see you this time. I'll arrange, I'll make time for you. بس كمان I would understand إذا أنت جاي تزوري البلد. I'm not gonna force you to come and see me.
No.
This is something إنه لا ولازم نضيفك طب أنت بتضيعي وقت من إجازتي عزايم.
Yeah.
كتير من أيام إجازاتنا بروح عزايم. To us, it's like إنه إذا مثلا let's say أسامة وفرح are coming over مثلا. They go like طب نحن ما بدنا نضيع وقت عزايم. I would understand. They're coming to a different country.
They take it disrespectful.
They take it إنه أنت ما بدك تيجي أنت مش محترمتيني وعيب.
Yeah.
خلاص.
أنا usually بس أنزل على الأردن بنزل like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a big family.
يلا زوري لا تزوري.
So once I'm like عشان ما حد يزعل لأنه you can't just go to one aunt and not go to the others, حيزعلوا بيحكوا بابا بيجي بيحكي لي. I'd rather just avoid all of this. So I'm like خلص. One day we're gonna go to all of them. No lunch, nothing. We went. They're like لا بكرة جايين عن الغداء. لا هلا بنجيب لكم فطور. لا هلا. I'm like no, this is what I wanted to
Listen,
avoid.
Listen, it's sweet. It's
amazing.
Yeah.
100%. Pineapple.
But yeah, it does take a lot of time.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. There's just like an argument I have with my parents all the time. And when I can't give you an example right now, but they ask you to do something and then you kind of rebel and don't want to do it. And they go like, ما بيصير من عاداتنا, you have to do this, blah blah blah. And sometimes it just doesn't make sense to me to do whatever they're asking for. So I think you need to question, why do we do such things? Some things make sense. Some things, it seems very sweet and very thoughtful and respectful to others. Like I love things where we have to always treat the elderly with respect, and that is something.
You have to call, you have to,
yeah, that's something I love. But some other things, you can't come up with an example for them.
Pineapple!
But yeah, we just need to question it. Why do we do this?
Yeah.
I like that. It's about questioning it. And but تعرف, I think society dictates this, and I think
big time.
The fact that we follow society, and we mentioned the society's aspect in almost all of our episodes.
Yeah.
How society هو اللي بيعملنا pressure بحياتنا.
Yeah.
I feel like نحن اللي معطينهم الvalue to do this pressure علينا, whether it's for losing weight or marriage or visiting someone or عادات تقاليد or all of this is society based. Not, don't blame it on the culture.
Yeah.
Blame it on the society. This is not, you know what I
But
mean?
because culture got mixed with society at some point, so
And
you're no longer able to differentiate.
At certain points, also there's religion that plays.
Oh my god,
as
yeah.
well.
Hey,
So it's all like,
هي السمك بدون راس.
I was just gonna think about it.
oh yeah, there's something that actually, speaking of religion, there's something that I do appreciate for living in a country that doesn't really meddle much with it. So in Lebanon, you know the situation.
Yeah.
Shia, Masih, Derze, blah blah blah. I did not know of this.
وحياة الله.
Oh my god, that is
here.
so
This is
true.
the best thing, I think.
Yeah.
I only knew يعني وحياة الله about this. I'm like, oh really? Like
And I was 13. And I was 13 the first time I
أنا
heard
بالجامعة.
of
I
Shia
didn't
Sunnah.
know.
No.
Yeah.
I knew in school وحتى يعني someone told me in school and then I went back to my mom. I'm like,
What's
إيش
this?
يعني هاي؟ إيش يعني شيعة؟ إيش يعني سنة؟ She's like, oh, شرحتها and then I'm like, okay, does this like play any sort of role? She's like, no, just drop it. Like never ask someone. I'm like, yeah.
No, it
How
doesn't
does
matter.
this add value?
I hate how in our culture, and I think it's a blessing زي ما أنت حكيت, and we were never exposed to something like this,
True.
and we never treat someone differently based on their religion.
And I appreciate that from our
Religion.
parents, not growing that sort of hate
Yes,
in
yes,
us.
yes. You know what else? What is something that I see as a pro? The fact that here you can be friends and with anyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
regardless
caring.
of the nationality, regardless of their status,
Beliefs, values. anything.
values, anything. Because خلاص here we draw the line. We're very open-minded. Yeah, if someone came and said something that you don't necessarily agree with, خلاص
Drop it. Oh my
you
God.
can just simply drop it. But if you
Wow.
go back home,
Agree to
for
disagree.
example, yeah, خلاص. It's like, okay, you said your piece, I said my piece. Do you want to have coffee now? Let's grab
We
tea.
had this today on the group chat. They were discussing something. I'm like, you know what, guys, you have your opinion. Someone else has their. خلاص, let's
خلاص,
drop it to
yeah.
continue. We continue.
Literally,
العادي.
yeah. What are we doing tomorrow? But if you do it back home, it's not even
Khawa,
about.
you need to
والله, you have
accept
to.
me.
Yeah, yeah.
I will convince you. يا حبيبي ما في داعي to convince
It's
me.
not even just about religion or anything. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's about الفاميليز like هدول اللي بيكونوا إنه أصلهم أصل أردني or whatever وضد الفلسطينية أصلهم يعني.
my cousin, when she got married, she was the first one to marry like a pure Jordanian. So mom was like, هو يعني مثلنا ولا مش مثلنا؟
إيش يعني مش مثلنا؟ أنا مثل.
I'm like, no, I'm just like listening to conversation. Like, I'm ما دققت, and she
See,
goes
that's
like,
the dumb culture that we need to question.
Yeah.
You know.
and she goes like إنه يعني فلسطيني ولا فلسطيني أردني. She goes like أردني. She's like, oh. It's so hard. And I'm looking at her. I'm like, you know what? I don't think لازم تعلقي عشان إذا بتعلقي الدنيا بتلف فيكي وما بصير to question this. And now يعني this was
not
like a while
something
back.
bad, yeah.
It's not something bad. It's just they're embedded.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
especially إنه أنتوا طول عمرهم عايشين مع نفس الناس, نفس الجماعة, نفس كل شيء the same thing. أنا لو هديك المرة ما بعرف لمين كنا بنحكي about حدا تجوز مثلا someone Indian married an Egyptian or something, and they're like, what do you
It
mean?
seemed like
I'm
such
like,
a.
إنه
Oh my
بالعكس
God.
تلاقيه إنه
Yeah.
إنه عادي ليش
But when
بالعكس.
it's like, wow, the wedding was
different
actually very
culture.
nice. Yeah.
They learn about each other, and I think this is very very interesting. يعني, and we had it was so cool. طيب, do you think being
not-
a third culture kid made us lazy?
No.
No, not really.
No.
Yes, things are easier,
More accessible.
more accessible, but we are really overworked. We're burnt
I
out
think-
every day.
Yeah, I think third culture kids in this region maybe.
ما جاي أحكي
Yeah.
إنه أنا يمكن أنا حتى I'm maybe أنا بكون منافقة بس I have a hypocrite. أنا بحس with all due respect to a lot of people in my life, أنا بكتير بآمن إنه wait, no, I need to rephrase this 1 second. There's this idea I'm gonna say that goes on within a families or family friends we know بيحكوا إنه الشباب عندكم مش مدعوكين. You know, they didn't eat shit in life.
Yeah.
Sorry, pineapple. They don't eat pineapple in their lives. they don't know إن هم كتير
حتى
مدلعين.
by the way نفس الشيء مع البنات ما بتعرف
Yeah,
تطبخ ما بتعرف تنظف ما بتعرف
Yeah, but the reality is that I'm sorry, but you come from a standard where you're meant to stay at home and raise children and cook food for your husband, and
because that's their culture.
That's the expected standard.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, they forget that you actually have a full-time job and you work from 9 to 6 every day minimum. So you don't have time to actually learn to cook. You don't have time to do all these that they expect you to do.
True.
And that's fine. You know, you're do it on your own pace.
But I mean, do you think this has a correlation of being a third culture kid in Dubai? Oh, JCC. I'm gonna say GCC.
I think if we're looking into this region then it's a
Yeah.
yes. Laziness.
Laziness, yeah. إنه أنتوا جيل أنتوا جماعة برا جماعة الخليج. You're like this.
Yeah.
عم بحكي لما نحن نرجع على بلادنا. You know.
مدلعين وهيك.
مدلعين. تعرفيش تروحي تصلحي سيارتك.
Yeah, see, we do have things easier, that's for sure. But that doesn't mean
It's a negative thing.
نحن مدلعين. We just don't. We didn't get the chance to actually do it ourselves.
Exactly.
You know, but if we have the chance and the time, we will.
What does local mean to you?
This is the question.
That's a tough one. See, growing in Dubai, local is Emirati. You know,
Yeah.
خلاص, you have the Emirati passport. You're born here. You're raised here. Do I consider myself local?
Yeah, do you?
No.
لما ترجع يمين على لبنان.
No. Exactly. I'm not local anywhere.
Identity crisis at its best.
This doesn't apply to me.
Identity crisis at its best.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But we're saying something, whatever, when we were
Yeah.
discussing this.
So, my cousin, okay, so she's her dad is Emirati, her mom is Jordanian.
Okay.
Okay. So مرة نزلت على الأردن. Okay, and she was telling my uncle, she's like, hey, I'm a local. My uncle looks at her, he goes like, nope, actually I'm the local. you're the expat here. Like, yeah,
Identity crisis.
yeah. احنا أصلا هون خلص we're so embedded, like لما أنا أجي أحكي عن someone Emirati, I'll go like, oh, they're locals. Or, oh, yes. Oh, كمان I heard a story, like someone went to England.
Yeah, I was.
He's Emirati and he's like, I'm local. He's telling the British, I'm local. They're
You're like, no, you're not. أنا. It's يعني خلاص أنت مفهومك خلاص local. أنا مواطن.
Yeah.
I حتى we had this إنه I was explaining like مثلا المواطنين they get this and they're like, what do you mean مواطنين?
It's
الإماراتية مثلا they have these privileges مثلا these job كذا كذا كذا. They're like احكي إماراتيين ليش عم تحكي local?
Because sometimes you just
Sorry, go on.
No, sometimes even like I feel like it slips out of the tongue.
Yeah.
Because we're so used to saying locals or مواطن. Also, like one nationality, like you would go like, oh, Jordanian, Palestinian, Lebanese, Egyptian, and then you go like local. Like you don't even acknowledge the Emirati concept, you know? Which is, I don't think it's something found anywhere else. Probably like in other GCC countries. And it would be interesting to hear like people from Qatar or Saudi or Kuwait saying like, do they also get referred to as locals?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
like,
think so.
Or is it just here?
We can ask, hello? Okay, growing up here, what is your favorite Emirati dish?
Ooh.
Emirati dish or
We'll start with Emirati and then we'll from other cultures.
Oh my god, let's say it all together and see if it's what we're thinking. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Right.
I think the thing that in my head is not Emirati. So
it depends.
Okay, go.
See, because I know what I think you're probably thinking of biryani.
Mandi.
Mandi is not Emirati.
It's not.
Yeah, I'm thinking haris.
Oh, I was completely like paratha chips Oman.
Wallah paratha.
That is
khubz bed, you know
the OG of this region.
Yeah. Have you guys ever had khubz bed?
Yeah, I love that stuff.
Khubz bed jiban.
Yeah.
Apparently I'm not that much of a...
You haven't been to cafeteria before.
I have
You're not from here.
لا, my Identity crisis part 3. My favorite thing here, Hassan Matar.
Oh, that's
This is
delicious.
Dubai kid things.
This is like a Dubai born dish, that's for sure.
Hassan Matar, عبود خلاص وضعي لوز. وضعي لوز. I love this. So, okay, people who do not live in Dubai, Hassan Matar is basically shawarma.
Well, let's start with the name. Hassan Matar is actually a football player.
So it's a sandwich named after a football player.
Basically في كافيتريات معبرين بالبلد. Okay, they have the best food. يعني عن جد if you want to have a good meal والله with good fries you go to a cafeteria.
Yeah, 100%.
I think now we know what we're doing afterwards.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So tell us about the, please.
Okay, so حسب ذاكرتي هي it's shawarma I think تومة. Is it a bit of
فيها
garlic?
توم فيها cheese فيها
دقوس spicy.
Always ask for زيادة.
Tabasco.
Yeah, لازم.
Oh, what else? وهيك it's toasted.
I think they put sometimes lettuce in it. I think.
Yeah, they
and
do.
fries.
Yeah.
They toast it, greasy.
Very good.
We're good to go.
عبود عليك يلا.
No, I don't think I've ever had the.
Have you?
No?
I know it's a shake.
It is, but it's mixed with ice cream as well.
And it's like.
And most
هاي
halib
طبقات.
usually is. I like. All right, I'm gonna.
Okay. Clearly, we know who's like
the OG Dubai kid.
From the streets.
Yeah, you know it. All the way from Murder.
يلا اشرحي لنا عبود طبقات تعونك هدول.
لا طبقات is basically cocktail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Show off. باللبناني.
ايه سوري خيي ما
هيدا
قصدي.
هو
Do I not perfect the Lebanese accent?
شوي forced بس ماشي الحال.
لا منا
fake
forced.
Lebanese.
That's Osama. You should hear one of our friends speak Palestinian. تقلب so aggressive.
No.
Have you ever heard Angie speak Palestinian?
aggressive.
والله يا زلمة. She speaks like this. She goes like, والله يا زلمة مش قادرة أتنفس. I'm like, where do you watch? She's like, TikTok. I'm like,
I want to get into that part of
Yeah.
TikTok.
But actually talking about food in general, as a third culture kid, you're actually more open to trying different food.
True.
مليون بالمية.
100%.
100%. كتير بعمان مثلا إنه لما أنزل أكل إشي أقول لك إنه أوكي يلا let's go. ما لا نحن في هذا المطعم بنحب نروح. لا طب ما في محلات
كله
أصلاً بتلاحظي إنه بالأردن المحلات like pure Jordanian or whatever like the pure homey places are دايماً busy بس like the wings place is فاضي. The Italian place is فاضي. You know?
There's a great Asian place in عمان.
Is it فاضي?
لا it's actually pretty full بس عشان في أراجيل.
مثلا.
That's a good mix.
مستحيل تلاقي مطعم بعمان ما في أراجيل. ما حيمشي المحل.
That is true.
Okay, so what else? Paratha?
Oh yes, paratha chips.
I think paratha is like.
Ukarak.
But paratha is like an Indian.
Yeah, it is, but it was
Right.
adapted in a very interesting way.
Yeah, mix remix. Yeah, but yeah, so I remember my cousin's wife came visiting from out of town, and I like this Thai place I want to take him to. Used to be back then in an old method called lemongrass, and I took him there and we ordered the green curry. And it's like a new experience for him. First of all, he couldn't tolerate the spiciness of the food. And he found it weird that there's sugar added to a savory dish. He goes like, why would you put sugar in, it's curry. My takeout of this is that they're not very comfortable trying new things.
That is true.
And, they're not open to different tastes, flavors, cultures.
So now, like, let's conclude this.
Mm-hmm.
What do you identify as? Not gender.
Of course.
They, them.
I said I had to be clear.
Nationality-wise,
Yes.
Lebanese.
So I'm حد يحكي لك أنت Lebanese.
Yeah.
But into honey, you're saying
like if somebody
Lebanese?
asks me where you're from, tell them Lebanon.
But you're only saying that because that is what's written on your passport. But how would you like?
That's what's documented.
Yeah.
But yeah, like usually, I would like if I meet anybody outside, they ask me where you're from. I go like, I'm Lebanese originally, but I live in Dubai.
Okay.
Like that's
That is
usually
wrong.
my description.
So Amal, what do you identify as?
Nationality. Okay, so it always starts as my parents are originally Palestinian. Okay, my dad was born there, but my mom was born in Kuwait. Okay, and well, I hold a Jordanian passport, but I wasn't born in Jordan. I was born in Dubai, and I was born and raised in Dubai. So people just look at me like, oh, okay. Yeah.
You lost me there.
Yeah.
But you notice that you said my parents are Palestinian. You didn't say I'm Palestinian.
No. So I usually say Palestinian Jordanian. لو سمحت.
بس البالستيني قبل الجورداني.
Palestinian Jordanian.
It's always like this.
Is it Jordanian Palestinian?
No, it's Palestinian Jordanian.
Yeah,
because at first you were
Jordanian.
Palestinian before you became Jordanian, so it makes sense.
But I have to give the background because if you just say Palestinian Jordanian, usually I receive this question. Oh, so you were born in Palestine? No. My parents, my dad was born in Palestine.
Back in 1940.
So none of us was born in their country.
No.
We're all born out, yeah.
أنا for me it's
how would you identify?
I'm Palestinian, Jordanian. My mom is lived her whole life in هيك دايما. This is the sequence of events. أنا طب فلسطينية من وين؟ That's when we.
أنا recently على فكرة عرفت من وين.
والله لا نحن it's like أنتي فلسطينية أنتي نابلسية فوية هيك. Yeah, my mom is
down to the street.
My mom is originally Nablisi, lived her whole life in Quds, then moved to Saudi. My dad يفاوي بس طول عمره عايش بالأردن. Moved to Saudi, gave birth. My sisters are born in Jerusalem. I'm born in Saudi.
Riyadh or Jeddah?
خبر.
Okay.
And then 3 years old I moved here. So literally Palestinian, Jordanian, born in
born.
Saudi, raised in Dubai.
There you go.
What
Mic
a
drop.
hectic
Paragraph.
scenario. Osama, we put a question عنا
Mhm.
on our page about identity crisis.
Okay.
Cool. And we got a lot of actually interesting insights, which I really appreciate. Let's go.
What's the highlight?
Confused.
That was a theme. That was a huge theme. Wait. So there was confused. There was someone answered they were a cocktail. So confusing, liberating, alienating.
I learned to say Palestinian Dubai kid. Best way to explain myself.
Hello.
Citizen
of the world.
Wow.
Wow.
Where are you from? Question that you get asked. Identity crisis unlocked.
Having the advantage of knowing about a lot of cultures is a huge bonus with people skills.
Yeah.
Fair enough,
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, but where are you from originally? Shut up. This is literally what
Pineapple.
it is. Pineapple. It was actually cool.
Yeah.
He ate a pineapple. Yeah.
You want to read the story?
Yeah. Someone like, wow. Sometimes I feel like I don't have a home. I don't know what to say when someone asks me من وين. I realize I'm not patriotic. I never understood why people tear up when listening to the national anthem. It's nice to hear them, but I was never moved. Can we just discuss the national anthem
I don't
thing?
know.
أنا ما بعرف يعني.
I just know تبع الإمارات.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, you know
No,
what?
I have both memorized.
Oh no.
بس I'm more يعني بس أسمع النشيد الوطني أقول لك عيشي بلادي. I get so enthusiastic.
Yeah, well, we have been singing it since, you know,
It's
KG.
so interesting.
first day of
Yeah.
school.
I
you know?
relate to this Anjad so much. I
Yeah.
love this, the national anthem one.
There's an interesting one. So, language barrier. I'm from a different country, born elsewhere entirely, living in the UAE. That's like 3 entire languages I had to get to. And this is something that we didn't tackle.
But
which is
you really, like, I don't know, for a third culture kid, I feel like language barrier is definitely not an issue.
Not in terms of that. But, okay. It's connected to accents. ما بتحس because you know a lot of languages and because you know you deal with a lot of people, your accent changes. And the fact that you have to switch from Arabic to English so often. لأنه إحنا, as you said earlier, with our friends, with everyone, we're speaking English. نرجع على البيت بنحاول نحكي عربي.
Yeah.
I think it's a bonus. I don't think it's a...
No,
Yeah.
it's not it's not a barrier, sorry, but it's more of like there was some sort of struggle growing up. Like أنا growing up, the switch I had to do in school and definitely affected me. Like, so someone said culture eraser, blurring, not in the sense that something took my culture away, but rather having an interracial family and having lived abroad somewhere.
Hello.
Down the line.
Our culture sort of disappeared. We cherry pick the nice stuff and throw the bad stuff.
You know, that's actually a good way to put it. That's a positive way to look at it. You know, having multiple cultures infused in you is actually a good thing because you cherry pick the good stuff.
Exactly.
And I think we did.
Yeah.
And I think we did to a certain extent.
Yeah.
I had an identity crisis big time. My mom always told me we are different than everyone.
I'm guessing this person's referring to family back home.
Yeah.
Because not
Yeah,
here,
no, they will never I think حتى we were embedded مش embedded بس إنه خلاص كبرنا على مفهوم إنه بس هم ما حيفكروا زيك. إذا أنت شايفتيها هيك هم they're gonna have this perspective. And I think this taught us and brought us in a world where إنه that allows you to look at other people's perspectives. You know, you would never think إنه
ما هذا عادي أنا بعمله عادي بطلع بالليل لحالي عادي. Like أنا هنا okay, I wouldn't say I don't have a curfew. I've had a curfew before.
بس هلا yeah, it's different.
خلص هلا ما في. بس إذا هلا برجع على الأردن like my mom or my dad urged me to come back home early لأنه عشان عمته ما تحس.
عشان العالم ما يحكوا.
Yeah. It's like you know what I mean. بس هون طب هون كمان في عالم وفي كتير ناس وعندنا families ونفس الفاميلي.
They don't care.
Yeah, they don't care.
They don't
بس
care.
هناك it's like لا شو حيحكوا عنك.
وكله بتدخل.
Exactly.
Society one.
أنا that term اللي شو بدك العالم يحكوا is such a pet peeve of a term for me.
Yeah.
I really hate it. I don't care. I don't care what other people think. And my family thinks I'm rebellious for not caring about what other people think.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard. كيف يعني ولازم وتخافي على حالك.
كيف يعني?
Let's conclude this. What would you tell anyone who is suffering from identity crisis, especially after we read everything. What do you think? What do you what advice do you have?
I think your identity is what you make of it, and it's not tied to your nationality.
True.
So, end of the day, your nationality can be just a piece of paper.
100%.
Your passport, or it's what you make of yourself. So I like to believe I'm Lebanese who lives in UAE, but really love this country and really want to be in it. Like, really want to stay in it, grow in it, have my kids in it. It's a safe place to be in.
True.
But yeah, so my advice is that just be who you are.
Yep.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, this has been so real, Osama.
Amazing.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you for being here. We had so much fun.
Amazing. Yeah. So thank you again, and thank you everyone. And of course, a special thanks to M&K Studios for having us and hosting us and making this environment extremely pineapple.
With piney.
Piney right here, yes.
Oh, that's what it's called.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Love you, leave you.
Bye.
Bye.
Amazing.